Hello and welcome back to Jesse's Vintage Garage. And after the last video, we got the heads all squared away with having high lift stuff in it now, for sure, guaranteed. No more of this wondering if things are gonna be all right. and we should be good to go. We feel really good about it. Along with everything we've been doing so far, I've been feeling really good. But then we kind of like think about stuff and then we second guess it. And that's kind of how it goes when you're working on stuff and you can't do it all at once. You know, time goes by and it takes forever to do stuff. But anyways, we got the heads torqued down, and we're ready to go on to installing the valve stuff, like with the push rods and the hydraulic tappets that we can put in there now. Hydraulic units. We'll be able to put in there, and then the outer covers, timing it, and all that stuff. So we're gonna get started here. So first off, I'm gonna go over some stuff here about where we're at and what we're ready to do next. If you're not familiar with the 56 casting heads, I know in the first video we talked about the difference in the heads. These are the big heads. These are the 56 casting heads, and some people call them the FLH heads because they've been ported and stuff. They're ported from the factory. They're bigger inside there. I don't know if I can show you that very well. You look inside there, but it's opened up, and I'm going to show you an older head that they used before this, and even on the FL heads. Some FL heads don't have the flow like that. Now, I was reading in the Palmer book that there's actually a different set of heads that the FLH has got. This is that style. There's more fins and stuff. I showed that in the first video too. If you haven't watched that one, it's really an eye-opener on some of the head stuff. I didn't go over everything, but because there's so much out there. But anyway. So we have the valves all installed from the last video. They're good. They open up enough for the cam that we're running. When you go to torque down the heads, I'm just going to go through this because I know we talked about it before when we put these on originally the first time. When you go to torque the heads down, you get the bolts all in, and then you snug it up. But while you're snugging it up, you want to make sure that the intake manifold that you're running fits in there. Fits back in there just right, and this does. It fits right in there, nice and smooth. And then anyway, after that, then once you have that snug down and it fits good, work your torque settings up, starting at like 35, then go in a star pattern, 45, 55, 65 until you're done. Now with the big heads, you're gonna have a problem with the distributor. If you don't put the distributor in before you put the heads in on the big heads like this, you can't get it in. So, and then that makes it hard to get to that bolt right there with this in the way. Now the older head, which I'm going to show you again, doesn't have this much fin area here, and you can get it on there without a problem. And we also did a leak down test. What we did is we filled the combustion chamber up with gasoline and just waited for it to leak past the valves, and it never did. So that tells us that the angle on the grind on the valves are true with each other, so they're sealing. So that's a good sign too. The other test you do once you have it all torqued down is a leak down test on holding a compression gear. You're going to be hooking up a hose to this side here and pumping it with air and seeing if it holds. Okay, you can do that a couple different ways. And then also you can do a leak down test with the manifold on. You put the thing on the manifold and you're pushing air the other direction to the valves. Okay, you can do that also. But we did it this way. We didn't have any sort of air coming out of here because we tested that, or out of the exhaust. We did have a little bit of air going down in past the rings, it seemed like. Okay, well, that's not surprising though, because this is a fresh bore. Rings aren't set yet. It's not sealed totally yet. It will be one day. So that's where we're at right now on all this. So now I'm gonna go show you the difference between the heads and stuff and show you what you do with the leak down tests. All right, this is an older casting pan head, and it's really good shape. It has these inserts are all good shape. They're not all stripped out. The other thing is when you're putting the head bolts in, they talk about how you can put some moly grease in there just to keep the threads from galling when you put the steel head bolt into the steel insert. I don't like all much, but then you also don't want to lock either. But you use, it's your own discretion. You do put what you want there. Anyway, when you go to do the leak down test, set it as level as you can. Fill the chamber up with a liquid, gasoline probably, and then of course put the spark plug in, and just see if it leaks past. I mean, it's that simple. And if it does, then that means there's a problem with your spring pressure, or there's also not sealing well on the two surfaces, the valve and the valve seat. So that's that. And of course, the other one I was talking about was the air coming in through here and pushing against here, and see if it leaks by. Go in the other direction, then see if it comes out here or here. Okay, then now these are the older style casting. They're not the big heads like I was just saying, and you can see that looking inside here, it's not open as much. Okay, and then also obvious, the fins are different. See how there's on a point here coming way up and then coming back around and coming way out over here? I'm going to show you the next side by side here. See the difference there? So these are the bigger heads. Now, like I was saying, in the Palmer book, it talks about FLH as having different size heads, having actually ported and polished intake and that stuff. The valves and everything else are the same. There's no extra different springs or guides making more lift, because the FLH cam, the Victory cam, it actually has 425 lift anyway, just like stock. All of them had 425 lift. It was the duration and stuff that was different in the Victory cam compared to the stock cam. So anyway, with all that being said and off my mind, let's go ahead and get started here. Just one more thing I want to mention before, in case I forget. After a while, after you get this bike running, and you get the motor all fresh and stuff, and after about 500 miles, make sure you retorque these heads, because they actually work themselves loose. And then you got to do it again after 1,000 miles. That's very important. That's also a insider thing that a lot of us already know. But yeah, I just want to mention that. And base nuts should stay, but just make sure you check those as well. It doesn't hurt to check it anyway. I don't want them coming loose. Definitely not. Or anything. I mean, vibration, this is a high vibrating engine. So, I mean, things come loose. That's why the special, I can mention this too. That's why there's special nuts on top of these heads. They got this special nut right here. It's a high vibration locking nut. And that's what, it's not just a castle nut, it's a special nut. And they're designed to keep tight after high vibration. So you can't just put a normal hex nut on here. It's just because that's what they look like here. And like with all lock nuts, you're supposed to use new ones when you take them off and reuse them, because what happens is that they lose their tightening skill when they're being a lock nut after coming loose. So, but we'll be using this head and the other head that matches it on a different project coming up, and it'll be exciting. So make sure you look out for that. I'll make sure I announce it when we get to that point. But anyway, yeah, let's go on to working on the valve tray.
Okay, so I put these solid lifter adapters in here just so I have something to watch. Otherwise, it's way down inside here. So this is the exhaust, and this is the intake. And the reason that we're not going to put the push rods in first is because I don't know where this cam is setting. We could be 180 off, we could be 2 teeth off, we could be 6 teeth off. I don't know.
So we're going to.
But we have to get this on compression stroke first. So, and if we put the push rods in, I can tell you right now what will happen is this goes up like this, and we can't raise this up to jog it. This has to come clear up to there, almost touching, before this will turn. And we have to start jogging, and this is in the way. So this will require these to be out. So then we'd have to do it twice. No, we're not doing that. I just know that what has to happen is, this is the exhaust. So in order to make a 4-stroke work, you got to think about how it's working. This one is going to raise. That means when it's raising, the exhaust valve is opening. It's blowing the exhaust out. Okay? Soon as that gets done, then this will start to drop. And the piston is, as that happens, the piston is dropping, and this is lowering, and the valve is closing. So after this gets all the way down, then this one, like this one right now, is raising, and we might be almost on the compression stroke now, because what's happening next is the intake's got to be up, and then the piston has got to go down, and as this is going down, this should be up, and the piston's going down, so it's intaking and drawing gas in. So after the intake drops all the way down, and then the piston comes up, that's compression stroke, because as it goes up, then and when it gets to the point of firing, then it fires. So then we got to watch for the timing mark over here. So we have to take the plug out after we know that this one is in the right location. But we got to watch all this happen. We might have to roll the motor over like 1.5 times in order to get to the right location. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to time it first. We do not want to put the push rods in, because we do not know if the distributor here is in the right location. We might be a tooth or two or 180 off. We don't know, because when we put this together, we just put it in here. I think I just don't remember. And in order for, and you still wouldn't be able to get it right until you know you have these in here, and you watch what's going to happen with the piston going up and down. So what needs to happen now is the exhaust. We need to roll the motor over, and my assistant over there is going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the motor over till we watch this one come all the way up. See, when it's going up, that means the piston's going up, and it is going into the exhaust stroke, and it is blowing out the spent gas. So as that goes up, the valve goes down, and the next thing that has to happen then is this has to come back down, this one has to raise, and then the piston's coming up, but it's on the intake stroke. So when it's on the intake stroke, then we have to worry about this one going all the way through it, and when it's down, then both of them will be down, and the piston will be on its way up. And when that happens, we are on the compression stroke. So then we have to watch for the timing mark on the other side, and when the timing mark gets in the window, that's when we put the distributor back together here, and we start to time it. Okay, so right now we're gonna start rolling it over. Do you got the timing plug out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're gonna watch this first, and we're gonna roll it over. Wow, both of these are down.
Well, I think the mark just went by.
Yeah, well, keep going. We might be on compression stroke. Yep. Okay, so let's stop right here. Let's back this back up, because the exhaust, I felt it start to raise. We need to back it completely up and watch your timing mark. And when your timing mark gets back, we were actually on the compression stroke.
Yeah, right there in the middle.
Now back it up. Keep going. Then what you want to do is now come forward, because we want to take all the lash out of all the gears.
Okay, yeah.
So now we're going to bring it up till that timing mark is like a quarter of the way, not straight up, but about a quarter of the way from peaking to the straight up. So you want to be about a quarter of the way in there.
To the front?
On this side of it. We want to be a quarter of the way up. We don't want to be straight up, and we don't want to be forward. We want to be quarter of the way from just peaking to middle.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so right now we are ready to fire. Okay, so now we're going to put the distributor back together.
Okay, so I was over here and I was turning the motor as he was talking about that over there. Now we're just going to show you what it looks like over here because the camera was over there. So anyways, this is what he meant by, there's our timing mark. That's our top dead center mark, our line.
Yeah, and it's
Right?
to give you a mark, yeah.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, there it is. Now, it needs to be just like that. Maybe just a little bit more. Right about there. It needs just peaking. And the reason I say that is because my old panhead book talks about it. FL and FLH, that's where you set it, right there. Okay?
Yeah, because they have different models are listed, like the
Yeah.
Sportster and the Flatheads.
And all these different models. But I've always set it there, and I've never had an issue with it. And, you know, some people put it in the middle. Well, you could probably run it like that, but that's late ignition.
Right. And there's a dot on
The closer you get back to here or before this is early ignition. So that'd be advanced. So the further you go into the window, the more retard you're setting the ignition. So we don't want it retard. We want it full advance right there.
Yeah, and I was just saying there's a dot also on that flywheel.
We can show that. The dot, that is further along. So what's going to happen after this, after it fires, it's going to come up, and then there's going to be a dot. There it is. And when you put that in the middle, that's top dead center.
Okay, that's top dead center. I called the line top dead center. So actually the line is...
It's opposite. It's opposite for an Evo.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And if you worked on a lot of Evos, this is real confusing because you'll set the timing wrong. Because I don't know why Harley changed that, but they did. And it's not smart. So I don't know why they did that. Then after you top dead center, you back it up, but you go past because you got to remember all the gears that are in there. You want to put load on all the gears. And because of the distributor, and now you're going to come forward till it just peaks over there, just like that. Maybe just a dash more. That's good. I see it good.
Yeah. And that's the, what, 35 degrees?
Something like that. I don't know. We got to pull the point open. There it is. Just like that. Okay, so now we got to get this out of the way. Okay. Now we got to put all this stuff in there. Well, we don't have to. We can go like this. Oh boy. Wow, we are really close. I don't know if we can get there or not, but this dot right here is, or this slash, this whatever you want to call it, you would roll the motor over till that lines up with the heel, and that's where you set your points. My points are opening right now. See there, I can squeeze them a little. This is where it's actually starting to work right here. So this is full advance when I pull forward. So we are already there. We might be 1/2 off. I don't know. We'll see how much movement we got in this. But we're gonna have to move it. And I gotta get my light. I want to disconnect the capacitor or the condenser actually. Same thing almost. Okay, so what happens is now I got it grounded from here to a battery because I need a light source to test the points. So now the next thing I'm going to do is go to there, to the positive side, and now I should be able to get light, see? Okay. Yep. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch to here. Ooh, we're already open. No, we're not open. We're that much off. Ooh, we're really close. If we can move this enough, we're really close. So now what we got to have is a wrench to loosen this. What size is that? Nope, not that size. I think it's half. So now I got a half over here. Yep, right here. Move it. Okay, so we're gonna look at this again. We're gonna look at this again. I gotta tighten this up too because it was messing with me. There. Okay. There. Okay, so now I want to set this on there. That's where it needs to be full advance. So it's going too far. So we got to move this back. See, that's what this does. See how I moved that? Now I'm going to test it again.
Yeah, because this is actually moving, right? Or stays still, and then that thing.
Now I moved it too far, see?
Oh, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So what we got to do is we got to move this. And there's a timing mark right here. See this? There's a slash right there. Okay? You're supposed to be able to set this like right to there, and that's a starting point. So from that point, you just start moving it a little bit, and that gives you a reference to see how much you got to move, or, you know, if you're moving it. I got to move it some more. Okay. And it might line right up with that mark when we're done. Who knows? No, not yet. Might be on the other side of it. I moved it quite a bit. No, not yet. Ooh. What the heck's going on here? Why isn't it doing this all the time? Okay, we can get there. We need to put the rest of this together because this is messing with us because, see, it moves too much. So next step we're going to do is we're going to pop this back under here, and this wire has got to lay inside of this like this, and it's got to hold right like that, and that puts that, see how it's got that? It puts pressure on this. So we got to put this up under here.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, it's tricky. And you got to worry about the wire. See, you can't put this part over by the wire. So it's got to go over here, and it's got to go up in there. Now you got to pick a set of holes that you're going to use. Which holes did we pull it out of?
Probably this one here. It's got like a scratch on the...
Okay, so let's put it right there, and then that's where we need to slip it up in there. And we need to get a light where I can see underneath. I like to hook the back first. Let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna hook. I want to hook this. I think I got it. I don't worry about the outside one until later. No, I did not get it, but I'm through. This is a bugger. Sometimes you really gotta press on it.
Yeah, because the bottom part is springing, and then this wire just kind of holds it in conjunction with the cap.
And you can't hardly get your head in here to see what the heck you're doing. Okay, let's look under there. Okay, I got it into that one, and I got it into this one. Now it's working. Okay, so now we're going to test this again, because the reason I didn't want to do this first, because this has to be off to jog it, because this gets in the way of this too, because I don't know why they put these big fins there.
For
cooling, but still, it made it tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not touching. So now we need to go.
And now you just eliminate all that wobble
Yeah, I eliminated the wobble.
to get more accurate, probably.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm moving just a little bit. Did I see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I need to move this just a little bit. Right there. There it is. Look at there. We didn't have to jog this thing. I can't believe we got that lucky.
Yeah, yeah, because we just put it in there, yeah. Yeah, but by jogging it, you were talking about like having to pick it up and turn it one tooth. And
Yeah, move it a tooth, because depending upon where this is rotated, I don't know how we got this lucky. That never happens.
Yeah, there we go. We got our time pretty much, huh?
Yeah, I just got to move just a freckle. Let's see what it does after I tighten it. Wow. That's a little bit too much. No, not enough actually. I got to move it a little bit more.
Yeah, so you're deciding you need to move it more, but how are you figuring that out? Just because it's...
Okay, I'll explain it. Just a second here. Okay, there's a cutaway. This thing here has a pin inside, and there's a cutaway in the base. So all it does is this pin hits one side and the other side. Okay, just
So
like
it's
that.
only-
So they can only move that
movement
much.
limiter, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So what happens is, now we're at full. This is full advance this way. So what you want it to be now is you want it to just be able to just touch this point and make the light go on and off. Well, if I pull on it, I can get it to go on. It needs to go further, because the further you go, the higher on the cam it rides. So we need to move this just a freckle. Sometimes just tapping it does it. Sometimes not. Oops. Oh, look at that. There, look at that. We're right at the verge. Now I'm touching. See how that is?
Yeah.
I just touch the point and it goes off and on. You can make it go the other way too, but you know what? This is close enough. It's gonna, and I'll show you how we can tell that, because now what I'm gonna tell you, we snug this good. Now I'm gonna back this up to retard, okay? Now we're gonna go over to the other side of the motor.
Like you be starting the motor, you have it all
Yes. Now what I want you to do is I want you to watch. I'm going to take this. Here it is at full advance, and I want you to touch right here. Okay, I want you to hold that.
Okay.
And I'm going to back the motor up, and then I'm going to turn it to where the light just turns out. And we're going to see what it's going to happen in the real world. So I'm going to back it up. It's got continuity. Now we're going to start turning a little bit at a time. Just ever so little. Until, look, right there.
Yep.
Okay. Now see what that did to the timing over here. Okay.
Okay.
Now you come over here and look at this, and you're going to see what happened. We're not there. We need to back that up. Remember, we got to go further, and we're going to back that back up again, and we're going to bring it in to where it just peaks. There, it's just touch. I can just see it, and we need to move that a little bit more, because we want that to be. We want that light to flicker when that mark just comes up. See, I have to. Yeah, we need to move that. It needs to happen a little sooner. So we need to back. That tells me that it's hitting in the slot on this side. So to make it turn further, we need to move it back just a little bit. Ooh, hopefully that ain't too much. Probably is. Maybe not. Let's see what happens. You put that on there. I'm going to back it up.
Okay.
I'm going to back it up, and then we're going to roll it over, and we're going to see what happens when all the because you got lash in all those gears that are in there, and
that's on.
Okay.
Yep.
Now it's on. Now I'm going to roll forward till I'm going to watch the light right through the fins here. Just going to ever so slightly turn it a little bit at a time till that light just goes out. Okay, now let's take another look.
It's just peaking in the timing hole.
It's perfect. We're going to lock her down. She's timed. So now we can move on to putting push rods and everything in.
All right, we have the condenser hooked back up, and we have the cap on. This is I believe this is a stainless cap. It doesn't matter. No, it's a chrome one. But anyways, it's the original one.
Condenser's hooked up.
Yeah, we're ready to go there. I routed the wire behind here like you're supposed to, behind the lifter blocks, and I got the clip put in place. This was the clip that we were talking about, one of the clips we were talking about in that clip video. And that clip right there is a 2520-1 from Colony. And it's the reproduction of the 9971 Harley part number, used on all 38 to 65 Big Twins. So then that's the proper location according to all the reference pictures I had on how they put it together. So there, that's all done. Now we can get ready to start putting the hydraulic units in here, and we're going to go over that. What we're going to do to get this to work out right.
Okay, so what we're going to do here first is we got to take this. This goes up. So this goes up in here. Then a spring. Then the washer. There is a sharp side and a round side. I like to leave the round side to the O-ring. So that goes up there. So the sharp side goes, because see, these are stamped. See how that side is radius and it's nice and smooth? It won't cut the O-ring. So, and we don't care about the spring side. The spring side is the sharp side. So you put that right up next to that. Then we put a small rubber.
We put the conversion kit here of it's a square ring. It's rubber instead of using the cork ones. Corks work okay, but corks like to dry out. And then what do?
Rubbers last long.
Yeah, and then what happens is the corks dry out in these, and oil's flowing through here on this engine. So we definitely don't want them cracking and breaking, because then they end up leaking out of that stuff. So.
And we need to put a little taste on this because it's really dry.
Now, when we were working on the flathead, we ended up putting a Viton O-ring in there just to eliminate the cork thing, which oil doesn't go through that valve cover stuff or push rod cover stuff.
So that makes this all wet.
But it also just made more sense to do that so they didn't crack away and whatever.
Then we get this. This goes like that. And this goes right down in there like this. Now the only other one is this, and that goes down into there. And I like to give a taste of oil on all that stuff.
Yeah, and then we got another one of these, but that goes into the head. So
yeah.
So
this one goes, yeah, this one lays up against this like this, and it goes up in here. Like that. And it'll fall out. So, and this will just lay in here like that. Okay. Now these I will leave dry, because these you don't want really wet with oil, because when you tighten it up and you put the clip in, if they get too oily, they get real slippery, and I've seen them to where they'll jiggle out and they'll squeeze out and look funny. And then they'll go like down in here. They'll, if I can even get it to do it, it'll just like what it does is do this to it. It does weird stuff and it pops. Yeah, it's, so you don't want these all oily, and if you can. And I have even taken brake clean and cleaned these all up and cleaned all that up and make it on a rag and dried it all out, so that when I put this together, it's dry. And so now the other thing we're going to do is, because I got oil ready, we're going to put oil down in the lifters. Now, if you remember, we just got done timing this. And so both of these are in the lowest. We're on compression. They're both in the lowest position. So this is where we put the push rods in, when they're at the lowest position. I don't want too much oil in here. I just want to put some oil in it.
It's filling up the little cup area there.
Yeah.
Well, not filling it up. You know, like you said, a little bit. Just enough to... Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna end up putting the hydraulic units in, and it's like kind of a little trick on how to like fill them up with oil right away.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, I put oil in. They're about half full, and so these units got a little ball down in there and a seat. It's at the end of this. This part goes way down into the lifter, and that part will suck oil up. When this goes all the way down and it comes back up, it draws the ball up off the seat and sucks oil in, and then gets solid. Okay, so what I want to do is, excuse me, sometimes the front push rod, because it's longer, it has trouble getting into this. Okay, so lots of times what I end up doing is I pop these apart. See, they come apart. You drain the oil out of it, and then you put it together dry so that it does this. See how I can squeeze this? So if I have to, I can start the push rod into this, and I can take the push rod and I can start it up into the head, but I can also do this and get it to pop in. Okay, so anyway, basically I can't do it like this, I should say. I have to push down on this. Sometimes I take a screwdriver or whatever I have to do to get, because sometimes when they're solid, they're way up here and there ain't no way to get it in. So now not all motors are like this.
No, because these are S&S
These
S&S hydraulic bodies along with S&S large roller or large pin roller lifters.
So they're really good stuff. But sometimes things go just together like this, and then it's fine. Then all I'll do is I'll push all the way down once and lift up, and then it'll be solid. And then we adjust this to where it just comes down and touches and gets somewhat snug, and then we count our rounds to get it to be correct, and then we're done. Okay, so let's go on. Let's go on from there. Dip some oil in it. I want to put a little bit more in there. Not too much. I don't want it. I want to be able to suck some oil. Yeah, there, I felt it. Okay. You ready?
yeah, so we're gonna start with this back one because this front one's gonna make it hard to get to that one.
Okay, so I put this in here, this here, like that. There's that. This one goes right away. I'm gonna get tired of that real quick.
Yeah, we have to hold these up.
Just gotta find something handy to hold it. Now all you gotta do is just hold this to where it just, you can just turn it easy, no up and down shake. Now what I can do now is I can push this down and give it a,
To prime it.
yep, if I can. It's getting harder and harder. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now we want 4 turns, 4 exact turns. So
Once you have this figured out.
yes, and the easiest way to do that is to put this on a flat, nice aluminum here. I can take a lead pencil and put a mark here, and I can watch it go around. I can hold here. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, there it is. We're ready to go. I'm going to hold this. Or you can hold this if you want. Make sure you stay on the nut.
Yeah, that's challenging there.
Okay.
There we go, I got it.
One. 2. Three. Here's the 4th one. We're into the oil. It's solid. Now in time that'll bleed down. Keep on to that for now. Have to have one more 7/16. It's almost, you need 3 of those. Okay, so you almost need 3 hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it hasn't released yet, so it takes time. So we'll just have to wait it out. Because sometimes it'll take 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes it's less. And there's some oil there, but I think it could use some more. Okay. Now we're going to put the big one in here before I forget. Put push rod up in there. Now this push rod, remember this is the front one. It's longer.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
It's a little longer. Make sure we use that one.
Yeah. For some reason, you got used parts and you're using them and they're all the same length. Is a problem.
Yeah. Well, then this adjuster's just out further. Some push rod companies make them that way.
Oh, you just adjust it farther?
But no, you just adjust it. It don't matter. Now see, remember those solid lifters we had?
Yeah.
Those adapters? This is not a problem. See that?
Yeah. So you don't have to push down like you were talking about.
Yeah. We couldn't use this earlier when we tested the head, remember?
Oh, yeah, I remember. Looking back at that video, you guys would probably remember that too then.
Just wait, I'm pumping it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So you got to remember, this is all new stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to prime it.
Okay, I got this all in.
Okay.
O-rings are in. Top O-rings there. So we're good
Yeah,
to go.
you got it all.
We're getting ready to go. So now I got it on a flat here. Mark the push rod so I can tell when we roll it. Okay, here's your wrench.
Yep. Okay.
Got it? One. 2. 3. 4. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm still over there.
Okay. This one loosened up right away. There. I can turn both of these now. See, this one's loose. Now this one loosened up pretty quickly. I can get rid of mark. We don't need it no more. That's the nice thing about lead. You can always add a new mark the next time you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're really not going to put the other pieces on, because now we're going to move over to the other side, and it's kind of nice to be able to watch what's going on here. In fact, we can hold that up for now. So now we're going to go to the other side, and we got to, I put plugs back in it because we don't want nothing to get in there.
Right.
So I take the plugs back out, and we're going to roll it over till these two are in their lowest position. Now what we should watch is we'll watch these periodically go up and down. We can watch both of these. These should actually go up, I think. And they roll good. So we should not be in a problem. They're preset at 4 turns.
Yep.
So plugs are out. Here we go. Now what we want is pistons are going to go down. One of them will start moving over there. But you can put your finger, or you can go ahead and put the lifter pieces for now to watch them, so you can see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't really see what you're looking for is way down in there.
Yeah, I thought I saw. Okay. Yep. This is like a lot more easy to see. Yeah, the back one's trying to go down.
Is one of the front ones moving yet?
Yeah, the front one over here is starting to go up. Now it's going down. Now the back one in the front's going up.
Okay, that one back there is just starting to go, see?
Yep.
Right here is where we want to be.
Yeah, you see that? Yep.
Okay. Now we can do these. They're on the lower part of the lobe. I don't have no oil in these.
Yeah, we gotta put oil in there yet.
Yeah, I didn't put no oil in them at all yet. The other thing is you can only put so much oil in here because there's a hole halfway up in between the two, and it'll drain out. So, I mean, I can put it in there. It'll stay there for a while, but it only stays there so long. I can feel the oil. There we go. Okay. Nice. Okay, we ready?
Yep.
Inside one first. There we go. Got all the... Don't have the O-ring in there, or whatever you call it, seal ring. No. Come on now. There it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's where it goes. See, now this one is up a little, so I got to push it just a little. See that?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see very well, but yeah.
I did. I had to push it just a little bit with my finger. Okay. flat, right on the flat. There's a pencil mark. Okay. Okay. You ready? Bottom one.
Yeah. Okay.
One. Two. Three. Four. I think I had to mark a little further, but that's close. Four. Okay. Okay. This one's already set. Okay.
It's kind of interesting seeing 3 hands in there.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing it by yourself. They'd be like, "What?"
Well, you can do it by yourself, but it's harder.
Yeah, we get like use the something to hold the wrench, like
I have to use two wrenches with one hand is what has to happen. You got to
Hard,
line yourself
yeah.
up good. I've done it for years that way.
yeah, otherwise, yeah, you could wedge it into something, but then they can damage stuff doing that.
I never did that. I put 2 wrenches like this, and I put a finger between them, and I could hold both of them at the same time,
Yeah,
and it could work.
yeah.
You just gotta, you know.
But I'm just standing here holding the camera. So what the heck?
And this one's got a lot of room.
Yeah.
So we only had one that was a little bit close.
Yeah, now you're priming it, so it's looking pretty good. Hopefully, with all the work we did to the heads, yeah, this should. And we tested it, so I feel good about this. So yeah,
It should work.
yeah.
Should be fine. Get done, we'll roll it all the way over.
You know, and we were talking once. We were thinking that wow, it's like who runs the stock cam? You know what I mean? Everybody pretty much has non-stock cam in this stuff. So unless you're running a 425, you got to do this kind of like valve work and high lift stuff.
S&S makes an H grind that is performance at 425 lift for these older motors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can feel it get tight now. 4. Okay. This one locked up good. Better than a couple of the other ones, but I just didn't have it primed quite as good. That don't mean nothing. Once it starts, it's gonna. The oil is in there. It's ready.
Yeah, we didn't want to forget what we were doing there. So anyways, back
And
to
it's
what I was,
already loosening up.
back to what I was saying. It was like when we were putting that cam in this engine, we had to like press a different gear in there. We had to make sure it lined up. Well, you know, if this stuff wouldn't have had clearance to move, we would have had a problem with the cam. And then
That's because the pinion and the cam gear, we couldn't find one that gave us the right amount of lash.
yeah, and they're not keyed. The cams aren't keyed for a reason. You know,
Yeah.
in case there's like a problem. Yeah, well, and I know of an instance when actually the cam ended up shifting, and then yeah, because it doesn't, everything's got to move. You know, there's got to be some. There's got to be some able to move there. They can't have stuff break, otherwise you end up really damaging stuff.
Yep. I gotta get a screwdriver handy. Not this one. It's got all them grooves.
Yeah,
Just like
I used
that.
to slide in. Now when we were working on the Evolution engine,
I did it the same way.
yeah, it did the same way. But we also noticed that sometimes these get damaged because people use them like pliers on it and crap.
Yeah. Or they take a screwdriver and they think that they got to turn this way to get them to start to come out.
That might be what it's for, but it's not very strong to do that.
Well, it is. It is. This is made for this, and you just pull. You just pull. You don't twist, because if you twist, you do damage. That bottom ring is pretty snug. Okay. Now all you got to do is you got to make sure that you catch the piece and you're not outside of it. Okay, and then you hold this. I like to just sit there and just push this down. Most of the time you can get it first crack, but sometimes these will catch on a fin. Are these all the same length? They didn't have a front one, did they? Yeah, they're all the same length. It's there.
Yeah. When you use a screwdriver to pry that in there, you gotta make sure the screwdriver's smooth on the front here, because some screwdrivers, they have like lines and they're like really rough. They like would catch, like like this Craftsman Craftsman screwdriver right here has all them ridges.
It doesn't want to go down far enough. Really? There it goes. Jeez.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was a toughie. Okay.
Yeah, 2 more to go here.
You just got to hold these to get them to start. Once you get it to move, then it's just a matter of getting up in there. Okay, we got one left. The reason it goes down hard is because it's got that fresh rubber underneath there. And you got to make sure you get this ring up in there.
In the right position, yeah.
Yes.
Is the thing.
Yeah, if you don't, you're going to have a bad leak.
we go.
I think I got them all facing forward.
All right, we got the
There
thing.
they are.
Yeah, so we got this engine timed now. We got the push rods installed, the hydraulic units in there, and
We probably should have had this in this hole.
oh, is it touching?
Yeah.
We can still move that. Yeah, I think that's just where it was at. That doesn't mean it was right.
Well, yeah.
So
it was one of them. It's got 2 sets of holes. What's the decision?
yeah. Anyways, this is starting to look good. So just gonna roll it over, check it out.
She rolled over nice.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to come to an end on this video. I mean, because otherwise the next thing we're going to do is a whole new subject. So we'll probably end up putting the head steady on and kind of in place. We got to rebuild or slightly rebuild the carburetor yet, but we can get the intake manifold on and such in that video. And then we're ready to put the plate back on here and put our cable in and stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So anyway, hope you enjoyed everything in this video, and we'll see you again soon.